Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. The NFL Draft is in the rearview mirror, and now it is time to start taking a look at some more of the future odds here in the NFL. And LVH Sportsbook in Las Vegas has released their future odds for divisional winners in the NFL this season, and I think there are a lot of value plays that could be had early in the offseason as we head deeper and deeper into the summer. But now it is time to start taking a look at one of the more contested divisions in all of football, and that is the AFC North. And this season, LVH has the favorites as the Cincinnati Bengals, who come in at plus 160 to win this division at LVH Sportsbook. And even though they did not lose a lot this offseason, really only a loss of Michael Johnson was probably the biggest loss for them. They retained most of their players from last season's team, and that should be a pretty good sign because this defense was a very good squad, and the offense is starting to look better as well. But they did lose their offensive and defensive coordinators. Both those guys got head coaching gigs, so they will have some new coaching staffs in place. But all in all, obviously the head coach is the same in Cincinnati, and things will probably still run smoothly there as well. But really, everything lies in the hands of Andy Dalton in Cincinnati right now. If he plays well, if he plays like he is capable of, that we've seen him play in the past, especially at times during last season, this team has a very high ceiling. However, if Dalton continues to be inconsistent, they are in trouble of losing the division. So keep that in mind when you're placing your future wagers on the Cincinnati Bengals. The next team up is the Baltimore Ravens at plus 225. Of course, the Super Bowl champs of 2 years ago had a pretty bad season on their attempt to repeat, and should be a little bit better this season. I think their offense especially is going to be a lot better than what it was last year. They add Steve Smith, a veteran, to go next to Torrey Smith. Should be a nice little wide receiver combo for them as well. If Ray Rice and this offensive line can get things going as well, you know the offense is going to at least take a step up this season. But the defense is still where the question marks are going to lie, I think, with this team. And even though they should be a solid unit on that side of the football, if they start having injuries or anything like that, they could derail them quite quickly. But I think the offense is where the question marks were last year. I think those should be improved, but I'm not quite sold on the Baltimore Ravens, but I do think they are adequately priced here by LVH at plus 225. The Steelers are also priced in at plus 225. It seems like Baltimore and Pittsburgh are always priced similarly in the divisional future odds, but not quite sold on the Steelers yet either. In fact, I think I'm a little more skeptical of the Steelers than I am of the Ravens at this point. I think they're definitely a little bit overvalued in the Super Bowl, and the AFC future odds are the Pittsburgh Steelers. And even though Big Ben is obviously still one of the better quarterbacks, I think, in the NFL, one of the more underrated quarterbacks at this point probably, he didn't have many weapons to go to last season, but he does have a second-year rookie, a running back, should be pretty good. But they lost Emmanuel Sanders, so they're going to have to find probably someone to step up here in wide receiver. Could it be one of their young guys? Possibly, but plus 225, still probably an adequate price for all the question marks that they have left remaining on this team. Finally, the Cleveland Browns come in the rear at plus 600 to win the division here in the AFC North. Obviously, it is Johnny Manziel time possibly in Cleveland, I guess. But according to the owner, it could not be. It could be Brian Hoyer time. But I don't know why you draft a guy in the top 25 overall in the first round and don't start him and want him to back up here in the first year. But either way, I mean, Cleveland obviously has a lot more problems than that right now, considering Josh Gordon suspended for the entire year. So Cleveland, even though the defense is probably going to be pretty good, might be even a little undervalued, the offense might not be going places this year. So Cleveland fans, sorry to say, but plus 600 may be overvalued just a little bit. That'll do it for the AFC North. Make sure you check out a couple of the other divisions that I have out currently right now, and make sure you tune in for all the rest of them coming here later this week. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of The Sharp Pick.